What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to take a look at the stock LKCO. So I actually found this on a social media post a few weeks back, and it was at around the $2 mark, and a lot of people were hyping this up, saying this is going to be massive stock. And since then, it's pretty much almost lost over half, if not 100% drop, and it's continuing to drop right now. And obviously, the market is red, so it's similar to that. But there's some concerns I'd say about this stock that I noticed that I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys on. And just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research before making any investments. So essentially, if you were to look this up, a lot of people are saying it's going to be a next big company, things of that nature. But if you're from America, there's a lot of risk involved that you have to consider, or else it's not going to end well, right? So here we can see the price is currently at $1.25. So on paper, it looks fairly cheap. And that's why a lot of people are saying that it could potentially, increase in price because essentially it's around $1 and a few cents, right? But there's a lot of things coming up in the next few weeks that you definitely want to make sure you're keeping an eye on, because if it does go down, then it's not going to be good. But really quick, some background. Luokung, however you want to say it, they do quite a lot of things, right? And this is a Chinese company, so that's why there's a lot of concerns around it, which I'll show you in just a second. But basically, I'll just give a quick summary in case you have no idea what it is. And in the most simple terms, they collect a lot of data, I guess I could say, right? If you were to try to read through it, they use a lot of big keywords, and it's not the easiest thing to understand. Like, for instance, they state here, based on full vector non-slice map technology, they provide real-time spatial temporal computation, intelligent POI recommendation services for complex scenarios combining persons, vehicles, locations, and things, right? So for me, I'm not into this space. I can't just sit here and tell you exactly what that means, right? There's a lot of keywords in here like full vector non-slice map technology. I'm not sure what that's referencing, but from the looks of it, it looks like they collect data, they look at maps, and pretty much if you continue to scroll down, you can see here these are looks like autonomous driving. And I've seen stuff with Tesla and actually been in self-driving cars before, so I've seen the ones where they're actually developing it, and they have like this giant dashboard. So this is like a familiar thing to me. But basically, it just drives around with the cameras. It gets all this data, and then it tries to tell, like, this stoplight, these are cars. Here, they got path, turns, etc. So that stuff makes sense here. And then you can obviously read the definitions on there as well. And then here you can talk about just vehicle-to-road communications, stoplights, things of that nature. And I'll go to a Reddit post in a second to give you a more detailed view. But let me just go to the site. Here you can see, like, looking at images, and you can talk about here they state remote sensing data service, and then there's another thing down here, just IoT, and then you have smart city as well. So I mean, obviously, if you combine everything together, looking at data, looking at maps, that definitely would fit under that. But if you go here to the bottom right, so they also have this mobile internet service too, but here you can see they have like 5 different services, right? And it's like a lot of stuff. So it's not essentially like a one company does one thing. It's this company supposedly does a lot of different things. So from my personal viewpoint, I tend to like to focus on companies that I can truly understand with ease, and I can just explain it to you what exactly it does. Like, for instance, Amazon, you buy and sell goods, right? Walmart's, they sell products. Target, same concept. Lyft, it's ride sharing. Uber, it's a ride sharing app. Here, if I were to explain to you what it does, I mean, I could say they do data, but in reality, it's like they do a bunch of things. So again, that's something you can go into and research for yourself to confirm all of this information. But here on Reddit, there's a post if you want to just look up LKCO, and this guy actually did the DD, so you can sit there and go through everything, and pretty much you can see he talks about like summaries, and they can talk about the EMAP, and he says here like EMAP goes one of the leading navigation electronic map services. They provide users with electronic maps, things of that nature. Same thing here. There's some artificial intelligence. They have bot brains, and there's a lot of other things, right? So from a outside view, from someone that's just potentially not invested right now, it seems like there's a lot of complicated things that they're working on. So the thing is, this stuff looks amazing, right? But you can see here, this right here, this is the big concern, and a lot of people are speculating on whether or not this happens. So essentially here you can see banned by Trump. So essentially, I can just bring this article up, and you can see the title, but basically there's a few Chinese companies that they are saying that are focused like on Chinese military or relate to that aspect, that they're looking to ban those companies. And let me see if I can find the actual stock ticker in here So I just command F really quick. And currently it's not showing up here, right? So this article is not good, but don't worry, I brought up a article already. And this one says, U.S. blacklists 9 companies with ties to Chinese military, right? This was January 15th, and pretty much you can see here, I'll scroll down, and one of these companies is the LKCO. So that's a huge risk already, right? So for me, from my perspective, I don't like to mess around with speculation stocks that I have no control over, because if it doesn't get approved, which they do have articles stating recently, like just the other day, that they saw clarification and basically the trading deadline may seek removal from the U.S. Department of Defense list, right? So again, if it happens, then LKCO is supposedly they're speculating that's going to take off. That's the whole point. People are looking to get in. Now, if this doesn't go down and they just basically delist the stock, then pretty much it's over at that point, right? So that's the huge risk you have to consider. And you can see here, let me see if I can find the exact paragraph, but they're stating here that the name listed under the DoD under section 1237 is not the exact match of Luokung. So they say that the restrictions on the U.S. trading may take effect on the 27th of May rather than March 15th. So again, this is the way they're wording it's May, or is not exact. So if they end up finding out it is, then March 15th might be the date that you want to keep your eyes on. Now, if it isn't, they have May 27th. So that's one of the biggest, I would say, risk factors regarding this one. But looking back right now, so it's currently at $1 plus. I found it back when it was like at 2 something. So I mean, you can see here it's like, yeah, minus 40 plus percent. People who got in at the top, obviously, you can see here that dip is not too fun. Like, you lost a lot, 60, almost 70%, right? So everyone right now, it seems like they're speculating that if the ban gets removed, they could see it skyrockets, or if it doesn't, it will just continue to drop. And obviously, if you're not from America, it doesn't really matter to you, because you can still trade it on other exchanges, but the main ones right now, obviously, is going to take a huge hit because U.S. is a humongous market. So that's just something to keep in mind. And also, and me personally, I didn't get into this because one is not trading on Webull, and I don't want to have to sign up for another exchange that would be able to trade LKCO and then ends up getting delisted, and that's just another hassle for me. But if you are in here, definitely let me know in the comments below any news articles, insights that I maybe didn't mention on what you think about the potential delisting and the bans that maybe other people can look into. And aside from that, if you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then go ahead and click the first link in the description below and sign up for an account. And as long as you deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.